Finding new routes to reach your customers and new ways for them to reach you is what business is all about. It's what the United States Postal Service has always been about. So as your business changes, we're changing with it, with e-commerce that runs at the speed of now. Next day and 2-day shipping nationwide, same-day shipping across town, returns right from the doorstep, and deliveries 7 days a week. It's a whole new world out there. Let's not keep it waiting.
Marty Flynn, the son of a waitress and a plumber.
They were my heroes, like everyone around here. They worked hard.
Marty worked 2 jobs and boxed to pay for college, became a corrections officer, opened a small business. When an incumbent wasn't getting the job done, Marty ran against his own party and won.
I never thought I'd get into politics, but I love helping people.
Now Marty is running for state senate. NEPA's own Marty Flynn.
Newswatch 16 is sponsored by your local Ford stores. Check out Ford's full lineup and build your new vehicle at buyfordnow.com today. From WNEP, the news station, this is Newswatch 16 at 5.
Growing frustrations in one part of the Poconos after yet another fire at an abandoned resort.
Last night's fire is the 5th on the property in a year and a half. What's being done about the problem? Our top story today on Newswatch 16 at 5. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm John Meyer.
And I'm Julie Sidoni. Police are investigating yet another fire at a vacant resort in the Poconos.
Firefighters were called once again to the former Penn Hills Resort near Stroudsburg around 11:30 last night. As Newswatch 16's Carmela Mataloni shows us, Stroud Township officials are now stepping in.
Flames can be seen pouring out of what was once a garage at the former Penn Hills Resort near Stroudsburg. The fire then spread to an old restaurant. These are photos from Stroud Township Volunteer Fire Department. The place in Stroud Township went up in flames again just before midnight.
I know, it's bad. Every time we go by, something else is burned down. And the police, don't have enough police to, chase after them all.
The resort in Monroe County closed 12 years ago, and firefighters have been called there many times since. 2 years ago, a couple from New York State bought the resort. Township officials say they haven't done anything to better it since.
We recently have a court approval for the township now to go in and do demolition work, since the owner, after taking the township to court twice, the township has prevailed. They have not done any cleanup. So we asked the court to give us the approval to go in and now do the demolition work ourselves.
The big reason why residents and township officials are so frustrated is because you can still see the remains of 4 different fires that happened at this resort. 2 over there, the most recent one just behind me, and the largest one over there. Stroud Township Manager Daryl Epley says the next step is to assess how much it will cost to clean up the property. The plan is to apply for grants to help offset some of what will be owed.
The owner made a big mistake. I mean, they attempted to do due diligence after they bought the property, but the township is now also authorized by the court to lien our cost towards the property. So we want to make sure that whatever cost we incur up there, it's not going to exceed the value of the property. That's the other thing we got to be careful about. So you'll see some activity up there shortly.
Newswatch 16 tried to contact the owners of the resort, but we weren't able to get in touch with them. All of the previous fires, including this one, are considered suspicious. A fire marshal is investigating the cause of the latest fire. Carmela Mataloni, Newswatch 16, Monroe County.
Search warrants are revealing new details in a deadly fire investigation in Luzerne County. According to investigators, James Goodwin was found dead Friday inside his burning home along Harris Hill Road in Trucksville. Officials say he died from breathing in too much smoke. Search warrants show that Goodwin and Dennis Brady Jr. lived in the home. Brady told investigators that morning he lost his phone and used a lighter to look for it under the mattress. He told police the bed caught fire, but he thought it was out. And in 2019, police were called to the home for a domestic dispute between Brady and Goodwin, who was the alleged victim. No charges have been filed in connection with that deadly fire in Luzerne County. Thick smoke poured from a double-block home this morning in Scranton's west side. Firefighters were called to the house along 19th Avenue near West Scranton High School just after 10. Everyone inside that home got out safely, but one person was taken to the hospital for what appeared to be minor injuries. No word what caused this morning's fire in Scranton.
A contractor working hit a gas line, causing a leak this afternoon at the intersection of Mifflin Avenue and Linden Street in Scranton. As a precaution, firefighters evacuated the building that houses the Scranton Civic Ballet and Creative Critters Daycare. No one was hurt. UGI says repairs should be finished by the end of the day here in Scranton. A man was arrested for DUI after a deadly crash over the weekend in Wayne County. State police say Anthony Berry of New York hit Charles Schradel of Hawley yesterday along Route 507 near Newfoundland. Schradel, who was driving a scooter, was killed. Berry was arraigned and taken to the Wayne County Prison.
There are paving crews out all over the city of Scranton this week.
Residents say the temporary inconvenience is well worth it. As Newswatch 16's Stacy Lang reports, some streets are getting a fresh coat of asphalt for the first time in a generation.
Most of the neighbors here on Wintermantle Avenue on Scranton's East Mountain say this is something they've never seen before. Paving work on their street.
I think this is the first time.
Well, long overdue, the work was welcome here. It's one of several streets on the mountain that's being paved this month. Gina Troianello lives on nearby Froud Avenue.
We're very excited because my son rides his scooter all the time and his bike. So it's nice and smooth now, no more potholes. We used to have a lot of the rocks and debris broken up on the side, so it was very difficult, you know, even for the cars.
The city of Scranton is spending close to $1 million paving about 24 streets all over the city. The mayor says the city is planning 2 more paving projects before the end of this year, and neighbors here have suggestions on where crews can go next.
There's some big ones around here. I felt like I almost lost my front end hitting one down here on Meadow Avenue. So it's pretty bad.
This paving project is expected to wrap up by the end of the month. There will be some traffic tie-ups until then, but neighbors say, well worth it.
It's good that they're doing it. I know everybody, all of us drivers appreciate it, but it's a necessary thing once in a while to redo them.
Stacy Lang, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
The Little League World Series is returning to South Williamsport this summer with a big change.
Only U.S. teams will play. Little League Baseball says the decision was made in light of the pandemic, adding the tournaments will be held following COVID mitigation measures. Some of those measures include testing all players and coaches prior to and upon arrival. Off-field activities will be limited for participants, and attendance will be limited to only players' families. The Little League World Series in South Williamsport is this August.
Susquehanna University will soon have a more visible presence in downtown Selinsgrove.
The university in Selinsgrove is leasing a building downtown, which campus officials believe will further connect the school and the community. Newswatch 16's Nikki Kreis explains.
There's not much happening inside this building on Market Street in Selinsgrove right now, but in a few months it will be known as the Susquehanna University Downtown Center. The new facility will include classrooms, a meeting space, and a retail store.
They can see us on Market Street. There'll be an opportunity for them to get a little bit of swag and fanwear if they want to. And it will be a place where our students and faculty and staff can engage with local business leaders.
This will be the first time Susquehanna University has had a presence in downtown Selinsgrove. The idea started a few years ago when Susquehanna University students studied new ways to engage the student body with the Selinsgrove community.
They talked to about 170 members of the Selinsgrove community about a wide range of topics, including some of the ways in which they would like to see us be maybe more effective neighbors, and that led to a recommendation from that class for us to have a visible presence on Market Street.
The majority of Susquehanna University students live on campus separated from the downtown. SU President Jonathan Green says the downtown center will help bridge the gap between campus and community.
This is just another way for us to express the ways in which both the borough and the university are brother and sister in a lot of ways, and we can strengthen that relationship.
Susquehanna University plans to open this facility just in time for the fall semester. Nikki Kreis, Newswatch 16, Snyder County.
An organization in Wayne County is looking for volunteers to help with its research of Lake Wallenpaupack.
Newswatch 16's Courtney Harrison explains how anyone can test the waters with the program aimed to gather information about the lake.
Lackawanna Sanctuary is looking for help to monitor water quality on Lake Wallenpaupack. If you live on or visit the lake, you can sign up for a 2-hour training program to become a community scientist volunteer.
We go through some really basic lake ecology principles. We go through the measurements that you're taking, why you're taking them. We also show you how to take them.
Beth Norman is the Lackawanna Sanctuary Director of Science and Research and says this is year 3 for the program. Lake Wallenpaupack is so vast, Beth says that's why the more help they have, the better. It's important to conduct research on water quality year after year to see what changes and when.
As we build this database over time, what we'll be able to do is start to look at what areas of the lake may be having some really nice water quality and what areas of the lake might be a little bit more problematic.
Volunteers who take part in the water testing program can take samples from anywhere on Lake Wallenpaupack, including right off of their dock. It only takes about 15 minutes and anyone of any age can participate.
We all take measurements at the same time, roughly, so every weekend between Memorial Day and Labor Day. You collect these data, you can put the data right into a mobile app.
Lackawanna Sanctuary also offers a summer workshop series with various topics of lake ecology, including one focused on harmful algae blooms.
You can identify harmful algae, what you should do if you suspect a harmful algal bloom. We talk about some of the ways that we detect harmful algae and, more importantly, the toxins that these algae can produce.
If you'd like to become a community scientist volunteer for the water testing program or are interested in the workshops at Lackawanna Sanctuary, visit WNEP.com for that information. Courtney Harrison, Newswatch 16, Wayne County.
There could be a problem with the rush to open backyard pools across the area.
Coming up on Newswatch 16 at 5, there is a nationwide chlorine shortage as we head into swim season.
Later on Newswatch 16 at 5:30, another milestone in the process of vaccinating Pennsylvanians against COVID and more signs the vaccine rate is declining.
Plus, more states lifting COVID restrictions, including some of Pennsylvania's neighbors. First, though, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Kurt Aaron in the backyard.
Yeah, a couple sprinkles coming down right now in the backyard. We'll talk about our forecast. We may even have a few storms around in the near future. Details next. Stay with us.
This week, as parts of the country get set to fully reopen, some states are rolling back restrictions, even facing shutdowns. Why is this happening? With so much at stake, World News Tonight with David Muir is America's #1 most watched newscast.
Home? It's where we bring the outside in. It's where we celebrate. Dream vacation? It's right inside our living room. Now, at Raymore & Flanigan, sleep in. Save on our best mattress brands and save 15% on everything. On thousands of styles in stock, all delivered with care. May home be wherever you are. Feels like home. At Raymore & Flanigan.
Some days, you just don't have it. Not my uncle, though. He's taking Trulicity for his type 2 diabetes, and now he's really on his game.
Once weekly Trulicity lowers your A1C by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Most people reached an A1C under 7%. Plus,